step-by-step process to removing paint from wood. Removing paint from wood requires careful consideration of the type of paint and the condition of the wood. Here are several methods you can use, depending on the situation. Step 1. Prepare the area. Clear the affected area and remove any furniture, rugs, or obstacles that could hinder your access to the paint stains. Creating a clutter-free workspace ensures you have ample room to work and reduces the risk of accidentally spreading paint to other floor areas. Cover any baseboards or nearby walls with painter's tape and plastic sheets to protect them from accidental splatters. Step 2. Choose the right method. The method you choose for paint removal depends on the type of paint and the condition of your wood floor. Here are some standard methods you can consider. Step 3. Scrape off dried paint. When dealing with dried paint stains on wood surfaces, employing a plastic or wooden scraper is a prudent approach. This method lets you delicately remove a substantial portion of the paint without harming the underlying wood surface. Carefully maneuver the scraper to remove the dried paint, avoiding scratching or gouging the wood. Step 4. Apply heat. If the paint is relatively fresh, you can use a heat gun or a hairdryer on high heat to soften the paint. Scrape it off with a plastic scraper once it becomes soft and pliable. Step 5. Use solvents for stubborn paint stains. You can use solvents like denatured alcohol, paint thinner, or mineral spirits. Apply the solvent to a clean cloth and gently rub the paint stain until it lifts off the wood floor. Remember to work in a well-ventilated area and follow all safety precautions. Step 6. Sanding. When other methods fail, sanding can be an effective way to remove paint from wood floors. Use fine grit sandpaper and sand toward the wood grain to avoid damaging the floor. Step 7. Clean the area. After successfully removing the paint, clean the area thoroughly to eliminate any residue. Use mild dish soap and water to clean the wood floor, then wipe it dry with a clean cloth. Make sure no paint particles or solvents are left behind, as they could harm the wood and pose health risks if they come in contact with bare skin. Step 8. Restore the wood floor. With the paint removed and the area cleaned, you may notice a slight difference in color between the restored area and the rest of the wood floor. To blend it seamlessly, you can apply a matching wood stain or a wood floor polish to restore its uniform appearance. Allow it to dry according to the product instructions before using the floor again. 9 tips about how to remove dried paint from wood floors. Removing dried paint from wood floors requires a careful approach to avoid damaging the surface while effectively removing the stubborn stains. Here are some valuable tips to help you tackle this task with success. 1. Assess the paint type. Before attempting to remove dried paint, identify the paint type. Latex or water-based paints are usually easier to remove than oil-based paints. This information will guide you in choosing the appropriate removal method. 2. Scrape gently. Start by gently scraping off as much dried paint as possible using a plastic or wooden scraper. Avoid using metal scrapers, which can scratch and gouge the wood floor. 3. Heat application. If scraping alone is insufficient, apply heat to soften the dried paint. Use a heat gun or a hairdryer on high heat and keep it a few inches away from the paint. Once the paint becomes pliable, carefully scrape it off. 4. Be cautious with sanding. If other methods fail, consider sanding the dried paint. Use fine grit sandpaper and sand in the direction of the wood grain. Take care not to oversand or create uneven surfaces. 5. Clean thoroughly. After removing the paint, clean the area thoroughly with a mixture of mild dish soap and water. Wipe it dry with a clean cloth to ensure no paint residue or solvents remain on the floor. 6. Refinish the area. Dried paint removal can leave the wood floor slightly different from the rest of the surface. Consider refinishing the affected area with a matching wood stain or floor polish to restore a uniform appearance. 7. Protect the surrounding area. When removing paint, use painter's tape and plastic sheets to protect nearby walls and baseboards from accidental splatters or damage. 8. Patience is key. Removing dried paint from wood floors can be time-consuming and requires patience. Avoid rushing the process, as haste can lead to mistakes and damage to the floor. 9. Prevention for the future. To prevent dried paint mishaps in the future, cover wood floors with drop cloths or plastic sheets during painting projects. Also, handle paint cans with care and use protective measures to minimize potential spills. 10 mistakes to avoid when removing enamel paint from wood floor. Removing enamel paint from a wood floor can be challenging, requiring careful handling to prevent any damage to the floor surface. Avoiding common mistakes is essential to ensure successful paint removal and preserve the integrity of your wood floor. Here are some crucial tips to steer clear of errors during the enamel paint removal process. 1. Using harsh abrasives. Avoid harsh abrasives like steel wool or metal brushes, as they can scratch and mar the wood floor's finish. Instead, opt for soft materials such as plastic or nylon brushes that are gentle on the surface while effectively removing paint. 2. Skipping test patches. Always perform test patches in inconspicuous areas before applying any paint removal method to the floor. This will help you assess how the wood and finish react to the removal process, allowing you to adjust your approach accordingly. 3. Neglecting protective gear. Enamel paint removal often involves working with chemical solvents, which can be harmful if they come into contact with your skin or are inhaled. Always wear appropriate protective gear, including gloves, safety goggles, and a respirator when working with solvents. 4. Rushing the process. Exercising patience and precision is paramount when removing enamel paint from wood floors. Hastening the process could result in inadequately removed paint or unintentional harm to the wood. Proceed methodically, not exert excessive force while scraping or employing solvents. A measured approach will yield the best results and safeguard the integrity of your wood flooring. 5. Not ventilating the area. When working with chemical solvents, ensure proper ventilation by opening windows and using fans to dissipate fumes. Lack of ventilation can lead to harmful vapors in the workspace. 6. Using incorrect solvents. Different enamel paints may require different solvents for effective removal. Using the wrong solvent may not yield the desired results and could damage the wood floor. Refer to the paint label or consult a professional to select the appropriate solvent. 7. Overlooking the finish type. Consider the type of finish on your wood floor before attempting paint removal. Enamel paint removal can impact the finish. Specific finishes may require specialized techniques to restore correctly. 8. Applying excessive heat. While heat can effectively soften enamel paint, applying excessive heat can cause the paint to burn or damage the wood. Use a heat gun or hair dryer on low to moderate settings and maintain a safe distance from the paint. 9. Ignoring professional help. If you are unsure about the best approach to remove enamel paint or if the paint removal seems too complex, professional painters or floor refinishing experts have the knowledge and experience to handle challenging situations. 10. Not restoring the floor properly. After successful enamel paint removal, restore the wood floor to its original condition. This may involve refinishing the affected area to match the rest of the floor seamlessly. FAQs. Can I use regular household cleaners to remove paint from wood floors? Regular household cleaners may not effectively remove paint stains from wood floors. Depending on the paint type and floor condition, it's best to use specific methods like scraping, heat application, solvents, or sanding. Can I remove old, dried paint from my wood floor? Old, dried paint can be more challenging to remove, but it's possible. Using heat or solvents can soften the paint for easier scraping. If necessary, sanding can be effective for stubborn stains. Is sanding the best option for all paint removal cases? Sanding should be a last resort, as it removes a layer of the wood floor. It's more suitable for stubborn paint stains that won't respond to other methods.